Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, I thought we could talk about prepping, specifically food prepping. So, should you be starting to prep? And the answer to that is a 100% yes. I started about 3 years ago, and I am so glad with what has happened in the last 3 years that I have done that. There's so many different reasons to start. My main reason is for security and for savings. So I'm going to go through a bunch of food that I think is a good starter when you're just starting out. So a few years ago, I just started hearing, when COVID first hit, and you watch some of these channels and you see everybody kind of warning you of signs certain things are coming. Things are going to get more expensive. There's going to be not enough food on the shelf. Well, that's enough to scare most people. Even if you haven't seen any of it, it was enough for me to think ahead and just kind of go, just in case, I think I'm going to start getting extras. I'm going to use them no matter what, so it's not like I'm wasting. And if ever I buy something and I'm not going to use, I can donate it to like a food bank. So I started, and one of the first things I started to prep was I started to buy the big bags of rice. So this is an 8 kilogram bag of rice, and we have a family of 5, so we go through rice a fair bit. So this is definitely a must. And I have to tell you that when I first started prepping, roughly 3 years ago, this size bag was, I think, about $8.99, give or take $1 or so. And I just bought this one here again, so 3 years later, roughly. And I think it is like $18.99 now. So just for the savings alone, it's worth stocking up on your food. So my suggestion to you is just to start, if you don't prep, if you just buy week-to-week groceries, start with what your family would use in a week. You kind of have to sit down and make notes and stuff if you've never even thought about this. And you kind of see how much your family would use in a week. And then I just started with stocking up enough for a couple weeks. And then I did a month. And then it's up to you if you want to have like a 6-month supply, a year. Some people even go to 2 years or more on certain foods. So I'm like a person that certain foods I do stock up a little bit more to last a good year, but not, I don't know that I do every item for that long, but I think it is important for everybody to have a supply. And I'll just tell you now before I go on that at this exact moment, my husband is laid off, and he's been laid off for 2 months now, and we're a single income family. So I'm a stay-at-home mom. And it's been very helpful having a stockpile for this reason alone. And so if I only need to go grab a couple, a bag of milk and a couple fruits and vegetables from the store, I have everything else at home that, we can just eat from, right? Like we have a stocked pantry. It's almost like your own grocery store at home. So this took a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of thought. I watched so many YouTube channels on this subject. So anyways, I would say rice is definitely one of my top suggestions to get started. Then the next one I'm going to say would be beans and lentils. These are really good to have in stock. And these beans here, I will buy canned beans as well, just for the convenience, but I'll also buy the dried beans, and then I pressure can them myself. So when, like I said, about 3 years ago, there was a bunch of sales, and you could get these for, now I'm in Canada, just so you know, for price wise. You could get these for like $2 to $2.50. So I ended up buying probably 10 or more different kinds of bags. And then it would be, I could can them. And for each bag of this, I get 9 jars. So one jar would be like, let's see if I have like a normal size can of beans. If this was beans, it's not. So price wise, this is better, but you do have to be able to pressure can these. So anyways, that was another one. And these are not in any kind of order either. Another one I really think is important is pasta. Oh, it's upside down. This pasta. Pasta is relatively cheap. And I always shop when they're on sale. And yeah, I think that's very important. I have a son that has celiac, so I have to stock up on regular pasta and also gluten-free pasta as well, which is like pretty much double, if not more, of the price. So you gotta, so I have a lot of that stuff to take care of. So anyways, and the next one I'm going to say, let's just say, and okay, so this is oats. I find I'm using so much oatmeal just for making treats and protein snacks and whatever you want to make with it, breakfast and everything like that. I think this is important to stock up on. And this was not necessarily my first item I would pick up when I first started stockpiling, but from then till now, it definitely is. And then I'm going to say flours. Now, flours do not store for super long, but this is wheat berries. So it's like a little grain, and these will store for like 30 years. So, and then you can, what you do is you get a grinder and you grind it as you would need it into flour. So I have flour that you just buy from the store, and I also have a bunch of this. I just bought mine from the bulk barn because I didn't really know where else to get them from. But that's another item that I decided more for long-term storage for these. Another thing that's so important is spices. You're going to need to flavor everything. So I have, over the last few years, I've kind of gotten into more spices, but definitely salt, pepper, and garlic. So this is already chopped garlic. This is what is kind of my go-to. So this I probably have at least 4 jars on hand. And I'm glad that I stocked up on these because these have jumped in price as well. And let's see. Oh, okay. Canned potatoes. I prefer the fresh potatoes, but I also thought that if anything ever happened and we couldn't get potatoes, I thought canned potatoes would be something. So I keep a small stockpile of canned potatoes. And then, of course, fruits and vegetables. Yeah, so you just figure out how much fruit and vegetables your family will use, and and I always buy them on sale. Most of the time, I think the sales come on usually every 6 weeks. So I usually will stockpile as the sales come up. So I like to have enough that's going to get me through, and then you just kind of, even if you just grab an extra can a week, you will get where you're wanting to go. And sugar. This kind of goes along with the spice, but this is kind of really important in my family anyhow. Okay, that's canned beans, which we already talked about. Oh, canned meat. This is definitely, I would say, a must just to keep on your shelves. When I first started prepping, I just thought, oh, I'm going to grab a whole bunch of everything, right? So I would grab, this is the luncheon meat, and I grabbed some corned beef, and I grabbed some Spam, but I didn't just grab one of each. I kind of grabbed like 6 or so. I bought them all on sale. I waited till they were on sale and I bought them. And, but I had never tried any of them. So I would suggest to buy one of each and test them to see if you and your family even like them. So I just recently started to buy some chicken because I love chicken. I'm not a huge fan of canned chicken. I don't know why. It's not my favorite, but if it ever came to where there was, no food, I would absolutely eat it. I actually really don't mind the luncheon meat, which was surprising because I kind of thought that I wouldn't like it, but it's actually pretty good. Corned beef is not my favorite, but I could get away with it. Spam, I tried and I do not like spam. My husband doesn't mind it, but so that would be my suggestion. Just buy one of everything and then go from there, because there's no point in storing anything if you're not actually going to eat it. So, oh, and the other thing too is find recipes. When you do start your stocking up, find recipes for you to use these in. I had stocked up for a couple of years, and then I'm like, a couple of them had started getting towards the best by date, which of course is just a suggestion. But I thought I better try some of these, and I didn't know how to cook some of them. So that's a good thing to know, is learn how to cook them as well. And then of course, soups, already made soups that you could just eat out of the can, just in case, So we have quite a few different ones. Our favorites is kind of the Campbell's one that has the meat and different flavors and stuff like that. My husband and son are in construction, so they love just to take those to work anyways. So yeah, just kind of buy what you will eat and then just stock up on them. Just try to kind of hit all the major categories of, with carbs and protein and fruits and vegetables, and make sure the spices, that's a huge thing to flavor everything. Oh, and on top of oh yeah, I did have one of the, okay, that's French. Here we go. So this is the kind of soups that they really like, but also the pasta in a can too. That stuff works. And these come on sale a fair bit, so I love to stock up on some of these. And oh, I don't know if I mentioned quinoa. Quinoa is also another one that I just kind of recently, actually, I didn't stock up on these at the beginning, but I really, I've come to really like these. And so if ever there comes a time when meat is not, we have to kind of cut back on meat, the quinoa and the beans and stuff will kind of be a good substitute in there. So I'm slowly trying to cut back on some of my recipes with the meat and add in a little bit of these, so we slowly get used to that, because the prices are getting out of hand right now. So it's not going to get better, it's going to get worse. So I would definitely suggest, if you have not started, to start. And yeah, I hope that I gave you a few good tips there. And if you have any questions, just leave a comment and I will see what I could do for you. And I am going to put out another video on stocking up on other items other than food, but I thought I would save that for a total separate video. Okay, so thank you so much. Yeah, feel free to comment, like, subscribe, and we will see you on the next video. Thank you for watching. Bye.